Hi everybody, it says we're live, so let's hope we're live. If you can give me a sound and a vision check, that would be great. Somebody? Welcome everybody, thanks for joining me on this wee impromptu live. Thanks Anne-Marie. Anne doesn't like it at all. She hates it, by the way. I just thought I'd let you know. Beautiful day in Dublin, but a chilly 11 degrees. Well, it was about 18, 19 here, but we've still got a wee bit of a northeasterly wind, which brings the temperature down. But if you're sheltered, then that's not too bad at all. I've been busy in the back door all afternoon, so I just thought I'd do this quickly. I'm going to do a quick half hour if everybody's happy with that. And the reason why is my voice is still not 100%. I came back from Tenerife with a cough, as you know, and it's only really now started to go. I'm going to use the Osmo Pocket 3, which I'm using today. Hi, Ruth. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Pat. I'm going to use the Osmo Pocket 3 because I'm going to actually turn it round because, excuse me from squinting, I'm looking directly into the sun. So I'm going to turn the camera around and you'll be able to see what I'm looking at rather than my ugly mug. Hi, Louise. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Maria. Thanks for joining me on the live. As I say, it was pretty last minute thing. Hi, Marianne. I was actually working out in the garden, doing some odd jobs for my mum, and I wondered if I'd get finished in time. So that's why I'm here. You'll need to excuse if I put on my gilet, as the sun's going down now. It's starting to get a bit cool, but it's fine just now. Thanks, Anne-Marie, for doing the links. But I'm going to turn the camera around. Just bear with me a minute. So there we are. That's what I'm looking at just now. Troon Harbour in the distance over there with one of the ferries in. It's actually the Glen Sannox, which is, people in Scotland will be aware, that's the one that gave us all the problems, but it's actually moored at the Troon Harbour just now. And the Isle of Arran. It's a wee bit of a heat haze tonight, so it's not as clear as it can be. And looking towards the beach. So I hope you can make that out all right. A few cars going past. Thanks, Julie. Yep, it's a wonderful place to live when the weather's like this. I'll come back down, and when the sun comes down a wee bit later, I'll show you a wee bit more. So there we are. That's what I'm looking at. So as I say, thanks everybody for joining me. I know it was a bit last minute. A wee bit update on the channel. Yesterday we went over the 1,600 subscriptions, so thanks to you all for all your input, for all your time, for all your patience, and more than anything, thanks for all your support. This channel's also had 399,509 views, so it's approaching the 400,000 mark, which is really quite impressive. And we've had watch hours of 21,188. So that's all the up to dates with what's happening and what's not happening. You'll notice there's some folk walking past, but I'm wondering if anybody will come and say hello, but we'll see later. Nice to see you, Pat. I hope your arms recovered from waving to me as I went over Dublin on the way home. And I didn't say Anne and David because I knew they were still in Tenerife because they didn't leave until the afternoon, whereas we left at 11 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully this weather's going to stay with us for the next 2 or 3 days. I think it's going to break at the weekend for us. I think once we get westerlies coming in, it'll change, but it's been absolutely wonderful since I came home. We've had about a day's rain in 2 weeks, so it's been wonderful. Still not 22, 23 degrees, but anyway, anything at this time of year helps. As I say, excuse me from squinting. I'm looking directly into the sun. Hi, Julie. Where and when are the next trip? Well, there's one planned for October. but we're maybe going to try and sneak a wee one in between now and then. I've got a wee bit of difficulty because obviously I'm still working part-time and there's a fair bit to do coming up to that, but we'll see what happens. Anybody else, any questions? Don't bother with the QQ, just put them down because I've got all the script coming up on my right-hand side of my screen. So as I say, I'm using the Pocket Osmo tonight for the first time in a live. So it's an easy connection on StreamYard. I know Colin was talking about StreamYard the other day, and I think he's going to try it one of these days when he's back in the house. Hi, Craig. Thanks for joining me. You going to the Arona Grande on Thursday, John? Well, enjoy. I'm sure you will. I think the weather's passed as well today, and I think it's set fair for a couple of weeks at least. Fiona, am I going to be doing a cook vlog again? Yes, I am actually. I've got a couple planned, but it's just time factor at the moment. But I'm going to do something along the lines. I've got a couple of ideas, but I'll as I say, I'll give everybody a wee warning when I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it live because there'll be folk coming in and out the kitchen. Thanks, Fiona. Has anybody tried the mussels that I did the first cook vlog on? Well, the only cook vlog on. In fact, we had them on Saturday night. Thanks, Louise. I know it's funny how when you go out for food anywhere, it seems to get the views up. I think you've got to be. I know that the others are thinking they're along the same lines, but you've got to be so careful about what you vlog in Tenerife because everybody does this, that, and the other. So obviously, I try to make it something different. Thanks, Fiona. Loved the mussels. Good. I'm glad about that. So as I say, I've got a couple of dishes in mind that I'm going to do. It's just a question of time factor. Maybe wait for a rainy day and do it that day. There's actually folk walking past now and wondering what's that idiot doing talking at his laptop. But there we go. As I say, sorry for squinting a wee bit, but the sun's really getting quite low now. I'll put the camera up again in a minute and show you once it gets a wee bit lower. As I say, Arden's not as clear as it all usually is. There's a wee bit of a heat haze tonight, which sometimes happens when the sea temperature's so cold and the air temperature's relatively warm. I think the sea temperature at the moment is still only 9 degrees, so it's pretty nippy out there. Excuse me, put my glass. Yep, Jim, we are thinking of going to another hotel. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we love our time at the Arona Grande, but I think it's sometimes you have to move on and go somewhere else to maybe appreciate it a wee bit more and then come back again. But certainly, I mean, I'm sitting, never say never. We're just going to try something a wee bit different. How was, Jem, the Adrian, Colin and Guayamina? Thanks, Pat. That's awful good of you to say that. I really appreciate that. I know you're always right on the ball when commenting, and it is appreciated, my friend. So keep it up. Gives an old getting Trun a wee bit of a lift when you say some nice things. Craig, what time is a sunset? Well, it's 1938 now. Normally, it would probably be about 8:15, but it's always a bit earlier here because the sun goes down right behind Arran, so you don't get the full effect of it going across the water. It'll probably be about another 3 weeks before it gets up at the gap between Arran and the Isle of Bute. So we'll see what happens. Hi, Vinny. How you doing? Yeah, so Craig, as I say, it's actually virtually right on top of Goat Fell, which is the highest point in Arran. So obviously that affects the sun coming down because it doesn't get a clear run down to the water because of the island. I know a few folk have joined recently, so if you want, I'm going to stick the camera up and I can show you what's happening. So there we are. That's looking towards Irvine and Saltcoats and Ardrossan. Coming round, I'll try and do this slowly. There's the Isle of Arran. You can just see the sun still above it just now. And coming along to Troon Harbour, where the Glen Sannox is tied up. It will be leaving here tomorrow morning at about 7:15 for the first run over to Arran, if it works tomorrow. So there we are. Come back down again. Hope you don't mind me messing about too much with the camera. Thanks, Anne-Marie. I actually can't see how many's on. Normally StreamYard gives you an idea, but for some reason it's not just now. So how many it is, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel. Small hotel, very clean, good food, very low-key entertainment and well-positioned cost and okay, Jem, I'll think about I don't know if you saw one of my vlogs. Anne and I and friends of ours, Phil and Angie, we went over to look at the Atlantic sunset in Playa Paraiso, and we're thinking of maybe trying it for a week or so, maybe doing a two stay, do a week there and a week somewhere else, just to give us a good comparison of what's going on. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate that. Stay nose at the Andorra. That's good. I know the Andorra gets such a great name. Watching you in Latasca 7. Do you know something, Ray? Anne said the same as me. The usual chef was actually on holiday when we went, and it's normally Lee, the wee Chinese girl's husband, but he had to go back to the mainland, and mainland, when I'm saying the mainland, I mean China, something to do with the family, and we didn't think it was quite as good, but we did go back, and it was back up to normal standards. So I do love the tapas in Latasca 7, and it's very reasonable as well. I'm sorry if I've missed any comments or questions. As I say, I'm looking directly into the sun, so it's easily missed. Hi, Marianne. I'm glad you're getting away again after your long time recovering. I'm glad to see that you're fitting well again. Regards to Harry. Yes, it was actually, Pat. There was lovely views. Although it's not adults only, there is adults only areas in the hotel, which is, we always go on holiday out with the school holidays, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But no, it looked nice. And when I actually phoned before we went and said we'd like to come up and have a look round. And I must admit, the staff in there were very, very professional and very friendly. So if that's something to go by, then certainly would be an idea to have a wee look and have maybe a stay for a week and try somewhere else for a week. I think Jim was asking there is an Adrian Hotel as well in Playa Paraiso, which is just as you come down in from the village, right in the shorefront, which is the opposite side to the cove where the Atlantic sunset is. So that looked quite interesting as well. Unfortunately, it was a time thing and we didn't get time to go in and have a wee look. Pat, don't worry about adults only. I know Anne is the young one. Thanks, Pat. You always give me a giggle with your comments. Really enjoy them. Near Porta Colón, that's nice and central for you, Marianne. That'll be good. And Raimondo, you're going to be there in 2 weeks' time. Raimondo y Patricia. A bit jealous there. I've got to go back to work in a couple of weeks, so that's going to be a bit of a culture shock. Mind you, it's only for about 4 or 5 weeks. Julie, we are only 10 minutes from Prestwick Airport. And actually, sometimes the flight comes back from Palma about this time at night, and we'd be able to see it if it's. There's two routes into Prestwick, one in the land route and one over the sea. And if you come over the sea, we can watch it going all the way in. So it's only 10 minutes away by car to Prestwick Airport. So it's lovely and handy for us. It's only Ryanair that fly from there, though, unfortunately. So we don't have a lot of choice. But I don't know if you saw, I actually put a thing up on my Facebook page saying that we've done, what, 5, 6 flights with Ryanair in the last year and a bit. And I can't complain. Every single one of them's been on time. Every single one of them's actually been, well, 5 out of the 6 have been early rather than late. And the one leaving Prestwick goes to Tenerife leaves at 5:45. So we get there about 10:20, which gives you the rest of the day, which is good. Julie, you're in about 20 minutes from Newcastle, Pet. Way aye, yeah, right. That's nice and handy as well. It makes a difference if you don't have to leave cars and car parks and everything, because they're charging the earth for that now. I'm just having a quick look over to the horizon there. There's a big sort of hazy cloud right in the top of Arran, so the sun's going to hit it in a couple of minutes. I'll turn the camera around so you can see it. Oh, there's the Amazon van just away past. Somebody's getting a delivery, 2 doors up. In fact, they might actually come here if they're not in, because they're the other drop-off point. So you'll need to excuse me if the guy comes. No, it's okay. There's somebody in. I've just seen the car. Hi, Trisha. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. If anybody's got any more questions, just fire them away. As I say, I'm only going to be on for about half an hour because everybody's got busy lives and I don't like to rabbit on endlessly. And I know a lot of people probably want to try and watch the football later. So as I say, I'm going to do a quick half an hour. And it was just, I knew that Tim wasn't available tonight because of his throat. So I thought I'd just step in and do this quickly. Sun's really galloping down now. It's funny. It's like it's nearly like what you get in Tenerife when the sun's there 1 minute and it seems to take a whisper and it's away. How's your baby sister doing? I presume, Pat, you mean my mum. She's fine. She's in the house just now. She'd probably think it's a bit nippy out there. Excuse me waving, but one of my neighbours has just gone past. So thanks, Anne-Marie. Thanks for reminding everybody to hit this thumbs up. Hopefully it's a gorgeous sunny day for you on the beach on Saturday, Julie. I've just been attacked by a bee that was about the size of a sparrow. They're absolutely huge this year. I don't know what it is. We've got a lot of early shrubs and bushes flowering just now, so they're making hay. I hope it's a good day for you, Julie. There's nothing worse than trying to plan something and it doesn't work out that way. Hi, Andy. Hi, Andy. Sorry about that. One of my neighbours is going past. Actually, probably. Eh? I'm actually live on YouTube just now. YouTube. No, thanks, Andy. Say Andy McLeod going past there. You'll probably remember his dad, Ali McLeod, that used to be the manager of Scotland. Listen, Shirley, it's quite funny actually. There's folk gone past there and they're giving me some kind of looks. I'll think, what's that idiot doing sitting out there with a camera and a laptop in the front door in the middle of the evening? But hey, just go with it. I'm sure a lot of other people have been in more embarrassing situations. 2 o'clock, Julie. Right, okay, we'll try and get that on Saturday. Are you going down locally, Julie, or are you going to go further afield? Hi Neil, how are you? Back in the island end of August, lucky you, Neil. I think you'll probably need to go quicker than that. Hope you're keeping well, Neil. It was nice to have a quick chat, although it was brief. And Anne had to sit down because she was dying for the toilet, if I remember correctly. Right, I'm actually going to pop the camera up again. Just bear with me. There we go. You'll see the sun's quite low now compared with what it was. And you won't be able to make it out, but right in the distance over the front of the harbour there, you can actually see Ailsa Craig tonight in the mist. So there we are, there's the sun just going down past the Isle of Arden and 8 miles of beach along there. There was actually a load of horses down earlier on. There we go. I'll stick it up again in a couple of minutes when the sun goes down. And we should be able to see the shadow right the way across. Hope everybody's not bored to tears listening to me rant on. I'll need to have a drink of water. The old throat's going a bit. Yeah, Craig, it's lovely. When the weather's like this, it's fine. You down at Troon on Saturday, Jim? It was a cold, brisk wind on Saturday. And Gales Hotel this afternoon. Well, actually, if I got up high enough, I could actually see the Gales Hotel looking across Western Gales Golf Club and Dundonald Golf Club. Thanks, Pat. Yep. As I say, when the weather's like this, it's a nice place to live. When the wind blows, the wind blows. Julie, probably about 22 years, we used to live in the centre of town. Tips for the master, Neil. I think Rory could go close, but it's the pressure and the expectation doesn't help. I think, I just hope he's not just too hard on himself. But you just don't know with the Masters. I mean, it's such a good field that you could come from anywhere. Yep, as I was saying to you, Jim, yeah, it was a cold, but we've still, as I said earlier on at the start of the live, we're still getting a wee bit of a northeasterly wind. So that tends to cool everything down. But it's been a beautiful day again, so we can't complain for this time of year. I just hope that's not our summer finished. It has a habit of doing that down here. You get 2 or 3 good weeks and then it goes downhill rapidly. Sorry if I've missed any questions. If I have, just stick them on again and I'll try and answer them for you. I don't think I have. I hopefully haven't. If I have, my apologies. Colin Morica, that's probably a good each way tip, because how many places do they play in the pay in the Masters now, Neil? Is it up to 6? I think it was 5 last year. No worries, John. Shirley, I was wondering exactly the same thing, because we had 2 or 3 good weeks last year and then it absolutely went downhill. And if you remember, the Open was on in Troon last year and it was okay, Craig, just let me know before you're coming for the catering department, will you? Especially if there's everybody that's on the live tonight turns up. There's always beer and wine in the house, which is far more important than cups of tea. Top 10, Neil, I wondered about that. Prices are low. I haven't actually looked, to be honest with you. Did anybody win anything on the national on Saturday? We're going to lose the sun in a minute, so I'm just going to turn round. There we go. You can see it's just going to go down to that wee cloudy bit. It's probably more of a ozone heat haze than cloud, because everywhere else is pretty clear. And looking towards Troon Harbour again. There we go. And back in the room. Night, Mr. Sun. See you tomorrow. Let's hopeful. Anne Marie, let's have a wee look. Won half my money back. Oh well, can't complain about that, I suppose. At least it gives you an interest in the horse. One of my horses still running. That's it. What Anne she usually bets the donkey. Did he? That's interesting, Julie. And drove the route. Oh well. Oh, that's a shame you're not great, Tricia, but keep your chin up. You know we're all thinking of you. Sun's already gone there, Craig. Well, it's just about to disappear past Arden as we speak. Shirley, credibility, watching Big Brother, for goodness sake. I'll each and every one to their own. It'd be pretty boring if everybody liked the same things. It's kind of busy tonight with cars and people going past. There's about 6 horses down further along the beach, galloping through the sea down there. Well, it's about to go away, so we'll give one last look before we end up tonight. There we go. I'll try and get the camera up as high as I can. And it's just about to disappear past the hills in Arran. Arran's such a beautiful island. I don't know if anybody saw them. I did a few vlogs there. When I was over, just went over for the day and took the car round and had a quick scoot round. Craig says it's 2012. That would be about right, actually, Craig, because it'll probably be a wee bit earlier than that, because the fact is it's going to disappear behind the island soon. But further down if you go down to my left, as you're looking here, down into Troon and further down, you would obviously miss the end of Arden and probably get the sun coming right the way across. So there we are. I hope you can see that all right as we head to dusk. I'll just keep it on this just now until the sun goes away. It's better than looking at my coupon in the camera. There we go. Hopefully everybody's picking that up all right. It looks okay on my laptop, but hopefully it's fine. Thanks for joining me again. Must admit, I was really quite surprised that you all came in, but thanks again. It's really appreciated. You can just see now you can actually see the outline of the island now with the sun behind it. We'll get a red sky again tonight by the looks of it. So I'm going to wait for the sun to disappear and then we'll let everybody go. And as I say, thank you everybody for joining me. It's really appreciated. Thank you, Tricia. It's beautiful. Thank you, Carol. Thanks, Louise. The sun now is just going down past, it's gone past Goat Fell. Thank you, Julie. As I say, we're just going to let the sun disappear and then I'll let everybody go. But thanks everybody for joining me. As I say, it was just a wee impromptu last minute thing. No, I'm not, Craig. No, that was just it was just a one-off for the 2 opens. And I just don't have time to do a lot. And I've stopped playing golf now as well, which doesn't help because I've got carpal tunnel in my right hand and I can hardly grip anything in my right hand. So that doesn't help matters. I still enjoy watching it, but I don't. I sometimes pick up a club and hit some balls down on the beach, but nothing to what I used to do. Cheers, Craig. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody joining me. As I say, it was an impromptu live. It'll probably take me half an hour to put all the bits and pieces away and the cables and everything, but I'm glad it worked out. Shirley, I'm not, because they said to me, it said to me, no, that's right, Neil, it's a capital V. No, it's, they said when I had to go up to Glasgow to the specialist, and they said to me that they couldn't guarantee it was going to make any difference. And I've known a lot of people that have actually worse, so I've just got to live with it. It's like having pins and needles. It's worse in the cold than it is when it's warm. It's a lot better. Ah, it is. No, you're right, Neil. I've just noticed that. Thanks for pointing that out. Yep, I just noticed that. I will get that attended to. I think actually, I wonder if that's been in StreamYard. But anyway, don't worry about it. Okay, so the sun's just about to disappear, everybody. I'm going to love you and leave you in the next couple of minutes. As I say, thanks everybody for joining me. Craig, my next visit to Tenerife, my next planned visit to Tenerife is in October, but things might change between now and then. No, you're quite right, Tricia. I've heard so many folks saying that it's a very hit and miss operation. I'm glad you pointed that out, Neil, because I didn't even notice that. Right, so the sun's just about to disappear, and so am I. Just thanks everybody for joining me tonight. I had the drone up the other night in the sunset, so a lot of people have looked at that. So hopefully you've had a wee look at that. Got another couple of vlogs to come up shortly. You're going for Christmas for 4 weeks. Good for you, Craig. As you know, we went to Arona Gran the year before last for New Year, and we had a great time. But enjoy. Okay, everybody, I'm going to wrap this up now. The sun's disappeared and I'm going to pack everything up. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And we'll think about doing another one maybe in a couple of weeks or so. Thanks again. See you all soon.